In the studio, we're going to discuss about music and business. Konya, or you a singer, and now you're a rapper, you think say you get bars, you go fit spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio, and yes, say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app, no, our Play Store, any App Store. No tune in, and say this is what you see, but live on Facebook, Cointakra, any Ghana Talks Radio page, and so now listen, about your fire, 1 year, Konya, Wadding, Jajan.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation. This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation. This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation. This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation.
Good morning, everyone. You are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. You're also welcome to the news headline review. Here we give you all the latest headlines making waves in the news, from business to politics, from sports to entertainment. We got you covered with the most relevant stories and informed perspective. As usual, I remain your host, Ruth Esinam Fiagbedu, and I can sit in a studio sharing my perspective alone. I have here with me Ms. Regina Bless and Ms. Debbie Adoso, who will be joining us shortly this morning. Good morning, Ms. Regina.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
How was your night?
Great.
Oh, wow, good. My night was short. It looks like we are having longer days, shorter nights. Yeah. God must see to it that we have shorter day, longer nights. All right, let's dive straight into our news story for this morning. Prioritize teacher development in STEM. Expert urges government. Education expert and CEO of Brilliant Education Consult or Publication, John Akwesi Amponsa, has called on the government to prioritize teacher development in STEM education. He emphasized the importance of capacity building to equip teachers with the necessary knowledge, values, and competence to deliver the required content to learners, thereby ensuring the successful implementation of STEM education in the curriculum. Speaking at a workshop organized by Ghana EdTech on the theme, leveraging AI, digital tools, instructional materials, and innovative prerogatives and assessment models to enhance learning, foster skills acquisition, and improve educational outcome. He emphasized that in the era of the fourth industrial revolution, the skills demanded of workers have shifted from basic computer science to artificial intelligence. According to him, education is meant to equip learners with the skills and knowledge required to function effectively in both the world of work and life. He noted that continuous reliance on traditional education, outdated pedagogies, and skills demanded in the 18th century is no longer effective. Hence, there's a need to transition to a form of education that prepares learners for the future. Education is program or function to equip learners with the skills and knowledge they require to function effectively in the world of work and their own life, he further added. He also stated that the government has a crucial role to play when it comes to education in every country. It is the government that gives policy direction on what learners should learn. We are in the fourth industrial revolution. The skills that are demanded of workers have shifted from computer science to artificial intelligence. Yeah. So education experts John Akwesi Amponsa is urging the Ghanaian government to focus on developing teacher capacity in STEM education, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. His argument is rooted in the belief that quality STEM instruction starts with well-trained teachers who are equipped with modern skills tools and teaching methods situated for the fourth industrial revolution. He believes that Ghana's educational system must evolve to make the skills demand of today's job market, especially as global economies shift toward technologies like artificial intelligence, rather than relying on outdated teaching methods or contents developed for past centuries. Yeah. So that is coming from education expert John Akwesi Amponsa. Right now, it's not all about technology. It's not all about ICT. Now we have AI. You need to learn how to use AI. You need to incorporate it at our workplaces. But before you learn AI, we need expert teachers. Now, when you go to school, ICT, how many ICT teachers actually well equipped with the use of AI that they can teach our children, that they can incorporate it in their daily lives? Now we are in a technological world, digital world for that matter. But before we get there, we need experts who are trained with AI. Yeah. Ms. Regina, what do you make of it?
Science, technology, engineering,
And mathematics.
It is a good thing. It is a very, very, very good thing. So with that, I've outlined why this makes it important. First off, quality teaching equals better learning. Students can't excel in STEM especially if their teachers lack the tools, knowledge, or confidence to teach effectively. Empowering teachers directly impact student outcomes. So automatically, if the teacher has no idea about what he's even teaching, how then do the students also grasp or pay attention to it? So they say if you want something to be good, you start from the foundation.
Yeah.
So in this case, the teachers are the foundations of the students. They need to be intelligent. They need to be equipped with the necessary tools before these students can also be equipped. Secondly, bridging the skills gap. Ghana and many African countries are experiencing a widening gap between education and job market demands. STEM is central to modern economies. AI, data science, renewable energy, and biotechnology all need skilled professionals. Thirdly, global competitiveness. For Ghana to compete on the global stage, investing in a digitally literate and tech-savvy population is non-negotiable, and that starts with the educators. And lastly, encouraging innovation. Teachers who are well trained in STEM are more likely to foster critical thinking, problem solving, and innovation among students. But let's ask ourselves, right now in Ghana, do they even have the necessary equipment? Do they have the necessary infrastructure to make sure that STEM is being utilized in Ghana? These teachers are being taught Even let me take ICT for example.
Right.
As at now, some schools still do not have computers.
Not to even talk of the building.
Exactly.
The ICT lab.
When I look at other Western movies,
Right.
even with their exams, they do it through what is it called? Laptops, computers,
And iPads.
Exactly. Baha, paper, paper, and you have to mark with your manpa. So ICT, I would say, in all this stem of a thing we are talking about, ICT, I'm not saying the other aspects are not important, but let me take science and ICT for example. That is the technology. These two things are really, really important. Some people want to be what is it called? People want to work in the science fields. Even Asante Otum, for his son, is now what is it called? Astronomy.
Yeah,
He's going out to learn about
learn
it.
about
Just
it.
imagine, we have all these facilities in Ghana here. There's no need for him to even travel out of Ghana to go and learn such things. So science and technology is very important. You go to some schools. Some schools, you go there, even skeleton, the human skeleton, they don't have.
They don't have.
Labs, the test tubes and all that, they don't have it. They don't even know how to do it. So how then do a science student become perfect? So this is the time where they need to improvise, because the world is evolving.
Yeah.
The world is evolving. That is where global competitiveness comes in. So if we don't fit in, how then can we compete with other countries? So this is the time where we need to make sure that we equip ourselves and also equip the professionals.
But then again, how many STEM schools do we even have in Ghana here? I don't think we can even boast
of even three.
Oh, three. I think
Kwame
three
Nkrumah,
we can.
I think it's science and technology.
Yes, it's science and technology.
Aside
but
that,
aside that, we have barely 10. We have barely 10. But when you go to other countries,
a lot.
they start STEM education from the basic level.
Exactly.
Right from the basic level, they nurture the children with that. But right here in this country, you have to wait.
Okay, go on.
Why won't it be difficult for people to find themselves in an organization and they ask them to do something technology
And they
put
can't.
a computer at sleep? They
You can't. They just clip the laptop.
No,
It's funny.
It's funny, but it's
sad.
serious. Like, it's funny, but it's serious.
I know, right?
It's high time we take our STEM education very serious right here
seriously.
in Ghana.
I saw a video. You know, TikTok, they really like when it comes to comparing Ghana and other countries.
Yeah.
I saw a video where Chinese kids were in class. I'm not even sure they're even up to 10 years.
Right.
5 years, 6 years, 7 years. They were busy dismantling computers and reassembling it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. And the other parts, I saw a video of Ghanaian students, kids students, they were standing in the classroom and singing. Omoya worship akesiye. We are not saying that worshiping God is bad, but you do the right thing at the right time. The school ground is not meant for Christianity stuffs. It's meant for these kids to learn.
There's actually time for everything.
Exactly. Even the Bible said it. There's time for everything.
There's
so
time
if
for
you are
everything.
crying to God that, oh God, help me become intelligent, and you are not learning, where would the intelligence come from?
Right.
So this is the time where they, as you said, some countries start with these basic things from the very start. So this is the time where they need to start it. We don't have to wait our age, JHS, before you want to teach these kids.
Yeah. We've actually seen the relevance of STEM education. And I think that it would just be wise of us as a country to, incorporate it in our educational system. You start from the basic level. Like, there should be like a particular course for that.
Yeah.
Maybe it shouldn't be mandatory. It could be optional if you want.
No, it should be mandatory.
Right. It can also be mandatory because we are in a technological world, and then obviously you are going to use technology in every day of your life. We are in a world whereby even our oldies are even using TikTok, and if you see the kind of phones they are using,
yes,
our oldies are even adapting to
so how much
to the kind of system we are living in. You get it?
It's really sad. Really sad.
So yeah. So the government should do something about it to make sure that we have enough facility to, train these STEM education expertise who are also going to join and then, teach the kids about STEM education. And I think that is going to go a long way. We've seen the relevance of it. Obi fixe machine keke can't
serious though.
It's serious.
Sometimes it's just a minor and simple thing, but because you have no idea about it, you need to go and call a professional, and that professional will just use minutes to solve that issue and take a whole lot of money.
Right.
So
it's that serious. Yeah, Miss Debbie, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, so we are actually on the topic of prioritizing teacher development in STEM education. So, education expert and the CEO of Brilliant Education Consults, John Akwesi Ponsa, has called on the government to prioritize teacher development in STEM education. Looking at the kind of world we are living in now, we are in a digital and a technological world. So he's urging the government to, train teachers to become experts in STEM education, to be able to also teach people to also learn about it. Yeah, so that is what we are on. And then I want to ask your opinion on that. What do you make of it?
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's not bad if the way of doing things in one way or the other is being changed. And most of the teachers, sometimes when you go to school, you study what you want to go and teach. We have teachers that teaches only science, and we have teachers that teaches English. So if they want to, pave the way for the teachers to also learn something, and they'll impact the knowledge into the students, it's good.
Because would you agree that right here in Ghana, we don't really have like a professional institution to teach purely STEM education?
No, we don't.
Apart from we have Kwame Nkrumah University.
Yes.
But even aside that, they've also added some
other things,
other courses.
We don't have. It is the normal senior high school, and then if you want to go and learn electricals, you have your own department. If you want to go and learn art, you have your own department. So I feel like it's about time, as you said, there should be an institution, mainly from the government that is solely for what's the name? That has to do with STEM and stuff. And trust me, the world is evolving. We are lacking behind.
Yeah,
we are lacking behind, and it would be very nice if there should be an app today, and then they will say that, oh, it's from Ghana, and then the whole wide world is using it. Like, in as much as you feel proud, you also want to learn something from it. Every day it has to be China, every day it has to be Korea. Are we not tired? So we also have to do something.
You see, for them, they actually learn from a very young
age. Yeah.
So what do you think the government should do with it?
They should start from the crèche.
They should start from crèche.
Yes, crèche.
Should it be mandatory?
Mandatory. Just as they do mathematics, you have to learn mathematics by force. And by force. And then when you fail your mathematics, it's like you can't achieve what you want to learn in the university. You see that you divert your career into something else. It should be like that. They should make it and trust me, from the start you feel like they are disturbing you, but when you complete senior high school to the university, you now get to understand certain things,
relevance of it,
and then it will also help you. So it's good. They should make it compulsory. They should catch them whilst they are young.
Right, well said. Ghana inaugurates National Planning Committee to drive labor export strategy. The Minister for Employment and Labor Relations, Dr. Abdul Rashid Hassan, has inaugurated the National Planning Committee for the Ghana Labor Exchange Program, signaling a significant step in the country's strategy to position itself as a hub for ethical and structured labor export. The inauguration ceremony, held at the Presidential Annex under the theme, Designing Ghana's Global Workforce Strategy, brought together representatives from government ministries, diplomatic missions, development partners, labor agency, and civic society organization. The committee is tasked with developing a comprehensive framework to facilitate the safe, professional, and mutually beneficial deployment of Ghanaian labor to international markets. Dr. Hassan urged the committee to approach its mandate with urgency and dedication, emphasizing the critical role of labor mobility and job creation, skills development, and national economic growth. The Ghana Labor Exchange Program forms part of a broader national agenda to harness the potential of labor diplomacy, tapping into international labor market demands, while ensuring stronger protections and support system for Ghanaian workers overseas. The committee's work will focus on developing institutional mechanisms, bilateral labor agreements, skills alignment strategies, and reintegration frameworks to create a sustainable, secure, and efficient labor export system. So Ghana inaugurates Labor Export Planning Committee, another committee, yes. The Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations has integrated a national planning committee for the Ghana Labor Exchange Program. This is actually a program where they are going to export some of our indigenous, some of our people living right here in this country in some particular skills outside the country. Maybe it could be tailoring, hairdressing, any practical skills. And this is actually a bold initiative aimed at exporting Ghanaian labor to international markets in a structured, ethical, and then economical beneficial way. So this move is part of Ghana's broader strategy to position itself as a source of skilled, well-prepared workers for the global labor market, and the aim is to combat domestic unemployment, promote skills development, and boost economic growth, through which is referred to as labor diplomacy, using international job opportunities to benefit the country while protecting the rights and dignity of its citizens abroad. So, we've seen some flyers, work abroad, and some are not actually genuine. I don't know if you've seen that. And it's more or less like that's what people used to search for greener pastures outside. And some are not even genuine.
Yeah.
These people go outside the country in the essence of going to look for a job or going to work abroad. And then they end up even losing their rights, their lives. And some of them are even abused. Now, the Ghana Labor Program Exchange is trying to make it a better way, a more way that is going to protect their lives and then the rights of these people who will be traveling outside the country to go and work in other countries as well. What do you make of it, Miss Eugenia? Do you think that's the right thing to do?
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. But before I start, I think I saw a flyer where our very own Malik Basintali was saying it was a flyer, but it had a link on it, and it states that you can work from home, but the work isn't in Ghana here, but it's outside. So you just tap on the link and you make sure that you provide the necessary registration, the necessary CV, and all that. Oh, that is a good thing. Because we are now feeling our big castle pesca aqua bonting, so with that it's very good. So make a very soon now.
I will encourage you to do that because your money is our money.
Okay. Okay, so with the labor export strategy, I would say it's a very good thing. First off, it fights unemployment, because we are already facing issues of a whole lot of people not getting jobs and all that. So I feel that if these people are being taken out of Ghana to other countries to work, it is a good thing. It would fight unemployment. And secondly, it would bring money into the country, in as much as I would say the money wouldn't be going directly to the government, but it would definitely be going to the families of these people who are outside Ghana. And in a way, it's boosting our economy and making sure that they people living in Ghana here, or the families living here, are also, should I say, benefiting and living a stable lifestyle. And thirdly, they make travel safer and legal. As he said, we've seen a whole lot of flyers flying about. What is it called? Work outside Ghana, work abroad. But how is that legal and safer? These people do not have, should I say, they are not equipped. They don't have the expertise to make sure that people, people who leave Ghana here, when they get to that country, they are safe.
They're safe.
And this is not an issue of connection man, because exactly, middlemen. You would have to, should I say, go boots to boots with the governments themselves.
Right.
This is not an issue of any middleman, to the extent where some people are even being defrauded of their hard-earned money. So this, I would say, it's legal and safer, and also protects workers. Protection of workers, I would say, is very important, because they are Ghanaians. They are our people. So once they get there, we've heard stories of especially some countries where they mistreat people. Some people go to work for people as domestic staffs, and they are being starved. They don't even eat well. Exactly. Yeah. So this is a case where I would say our workers will be protected, because our government will sign a contract with these countries and the organizations these people will be taken to make sure that their workers are being treated very well. And with me talking about workers being treated well, I think they should also find a hotline where right there in Ghana, when you need help, you can just call a hotline. You can call 911, you can call an ambulance or something when you need help. So I think that when people go out there, they should also create a hotline for them, to make sure that when they are being treated unfairly, they just call. Then they see to it. Or when they need help, or when there's an issue, they can just call. So aside all these, with the advantages listed and the disadvantages listed also, I think it's a good thing. Yeah.
Right.
The way you conclude, I see debate. Yeah, debate. Okay. So I think it's a good one. We cannot provide everything for our people in this country, and if we want to expand, if we want to broaden our scope of knowledge as a country, we have to go out. We have to go out there, learn more, build up on our skills, so that we'll come back and then add up to the development of the country. So although it's going to create employment for people, is going to cut down unemployment in the country, it's also going to help the individual develop skill, learn more on what they are going to learn in those countries that Ghana is going to partner with. So you're going to develop more on your skills, you're going to learn more, like add up more knowledge to what you've already know. And then if maybe you are going to be there for say a year or two, before you come back, you've learned a lot, and it's going to help. Because when you come, it's not as if you are going to do the normal thing you used to do, but there will be a slight change in what you do, and then it will help. Then I believe that for economic growth as well, so exports contribute to a country's GDP, creating jobs, as I said, and stimulating economic growth. And then diversification. It's helped to diversify a country's economy, reducing dependence on domestic market.
Right.
So as we export our people there, I mean, they learn. It's not as if we are now becoming so dependent on people. We are not going to ask them for help to develop other things in this country. They know the skills already.
Yeah.
They have the basic foundation. So this one is just like going to tap. Oh, well, if I add this to this, it will be perfect. If I do this, it will be good. It will be nice. It will be all right. So that is basically that. And then exports generates foreign exchange and enabling countries to import goods and services. So long as we maybe, for example, let's say we are collaborating with US or the United Kingdom, there is this kind of friendly relationship between the two countries, and so it's going to help us in like a lot of ways. In a way where maybe we'll be lacking in some things, they can help. And I think there are so many ways where USA, UK, and other countries, neighboring countries, have helped us as a country because of the collaboration we have with them, because of the friendly relationship we have with them. So if they hear that something of this sort is going on, especially when the COVID-19 came, this US countries, they gave us vaccines, right?
Yeah.
And as much as there was allocation of fund for that, but in a way they also help us, and it also increased competitiveness. When we are trained with those local way of doing things,
which is
local way of doing things. Our local way of doing things, everything. So when you go out there, you learn more skills. You adapt to what you already know. And then it's not about that. You know, some people when they are doing, up till now, people don't know how to braid like this hair that is like already. You send a style to them. It's like what you've ordered for versus what you got. Like they braid something very different. And you ask yourself, the world is evolving. People are learning new stuff.
And so learn to
learn to
it.
That's why we have YouTube and other stuff.
That's what I'm saying. That we as Ghanaians, we lack innovation. Like we like the one way. Like add a bit of spice to it. Like you get it.
Yeah.
With the answer, it's picture now the chair, mom. Now I'm more
it's like it's kind of, and what says you cannot.
Yeah, you can.
You have to just manage it for a while and then
you get it.
It's so painful. That is why when you put Ghana in Nigeria, in a way, I'll try to divert Nigeria a bit because you
like to also explore what they also have.
To innovation, creative.
Nigerians
are very
creative.
They are very creative
when it comes to fashion.
They are there.
They are movies, everything.
Even funny videos. They are on top.
I know they are.
Nigerians, like, they are very Ghana. Me, I don't know. Do we really have a problem or?
I have a problem, okay.
It's us. Yeah.
We are the one who said the problem is not from the government but rather from
us.
So we are all part of the problem.
Exactly.
So we all need to work on ourselves.
We are refusing to think. That is it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And immediately we see someone doing something, the person is trending. You're also going to do the same thing.
What? No, the issue is if you see someone doing something and then it's trending. What is going to differentiate you from the person? But you want to do it how the person is doing it. So why will I even come for you in the same place when I have someone who is already doing it? Add something to it.
Yes, spice it up.
We have lots of content creators, but there's always there are some specific content creators that their works are different from the majority of it, and that is what differentiates them from the market.
It makes them unique and stand out.
So let's be innovative.
That's it.
How you people will spice your relationships? Spice your thinking like that.
When it comes to today, they break someone's heart. They have committed suicide. That one, they are good.
They are good at it.
But sitting down to create.
And one thing I've also realized is when you want to leave the shores of Ghana or the shores of any country to go outside, make sure that you are equipped with your own talents. Because I've studied say outside there to get most of these things is kind of hard. So sometimes even when you watch TikTok of people travel tour, they were like, I had to learn a skill for 3 months before I left. And I was like, oh wow. Because it's fetching and paying a lot of money. It's fetching
them money. So they need I have a colleague there who is doing a
manicure and
pedicure.
She's making money.
Of course, she's going to make money.
Almost say Tibo Christ, almost thousands of CDs. So yeah, 100, 200, 9 years.
So please, this is actually a chance. If you have the chance, if you are skilled, grab it. But that doesn't mean that when you go, don't come back. Oh, please come back and come and nurture people. You see your mindset.
Come back.
Come back.
If Ghana was I'm not saying Ghana is not a safe place, but they make living so difficult for us. So just imagine that you leave and you know that you are coming back to a country where it's safe and sound, no economic stress.
I think with this particular initiative, I think you have to sign a contract.
Yeah, that maybe 2 years.
2 years or something. You have to be
They should do it 5 years.
All right, moving on. Government disburses 8.9 million Ghana cedis feeding grant to special needs schools. The Ghana Education Service has announced the payment of a feeding grant totaling 8.9 million Ghana cedis to special needs schools across the country. This development, disclosed in a press release signed by GES Public Relations Head Daniel Fenyi on Wednesday, June 25th, marks a significant step toward supporting inclusive education in Ghana. According to the statement, the grant covers the feeding requirements of all learners in special needs institutions nationwide. GES applauded the government for its continued commitment to the welfare of learners with special needs, emphasizing that the funding reflects ongoing effort to ensure equitable access to quality education. The service also expressed appreciation to the heads, staff, and students of special schools for their patience and dedication during the grant disbursement process. GES remains committed to collaborating with all stakeholders to deliver inclusive education for every learner, regardless of ability. The release concluded. Yeah.
This
Ghana
is
Education
GhanaTalks
Service
Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
has disbursed 8.9 million Ghana cedis feeding grant to special needs schools. My question is, it's a good call, but is that sufficient for these people? Miss Regina?
Is it sufficient?
Yes.
They should manage it.
Wow.
If it's not sufficient, they should manage it. Because I would say that the government is trying their possible best. Because I say Obatanya in Kola or Kola 5. Now we chino, mama me pay, mama. At the end of the day, you'll be exhausted. So I would say the governments, they are trying their possible best to make sure that Obia Benyane Chefa. Because looking at these needy schools, especially these kids, I would say they are suffering. Because looking at some of these homes or looking at some of these schools, some of them nearly shuts down because of money issues. Most of them do not have money to run the schools. And I would say most of these schools are also private institutions. Most of them are private institutions. Most of them. Sikani Niho, the little they have, they try to manage it with the kids. And you know that with these special kids also, their feeding is not like the normal feeding.
They have special foods as
Exactly.
well.
And it's expensive. And it's, should I say, a lot of burdens are on the proprietors or the proprietors of the school and also the family as a whole. So I think that the money allocated would help. Maybe say 100% kwata at least. It will do something small. It will ease their pain a little. Because these kids need it. They really need it. So the money there, they should manage it for us.
They should manage
when
it.
we become rich, in addition, we will give them another one. So
yeah, and I'm happy for the fact that these people are actually not left out.
exactly.
Because special people, the way we undermine them,
And you know, surprisingly, such kids are very intelligent.
Very much
intelligent. Hey, yeah, very ready.
Miss Devi.
Well, I think Haruna, the education minister, right? Haruna is Idris to me. Well, he's really doing his best. He's trying everything possible to ensure that all students have a fair share of the national cake, including students with special needs. And then when we talk about these students, most often there is this woman I follow on Facebook. She actually cater for the special needs children. Like, she fend for their education, she gives you a place to stay, she feed you. I mean, she does everything. And you know, with these people, they don't, something that you can do at the age of 5 or 10 years. At the age of 5 or 10 years, they cannot do it. So you have to be doing it for them. And it comes with a lot of investment. So I'm sure she's not doing it alone. She has a lot of sponsors that are sponsoring her. We have parents. There is a time where she was being investigated, and she was like, parents bring their walls to the school or to the place, and then
It's sad.
They don't even care about the child. They leave you there. And then you, the owner, you have to ensure that they live a normal life. You have to feed them, clothe them. I mean, sometimes, excuse me, when they want to pee or those stuffs, you have to, someone who's old, like 15, 16 years old, but because they find themselves in certain situations that, like, I see that. So you just have to help them. So with the education minister allocating fund for special need students or schools that are into that, it's a good one. As she said, it's not going to cater for all their needs, but at least 50% it will do. And it's going to ease burden on these schools. It's going to ease burden on this proprietor and then proprietors and people who are into that. Because as I said, they'll come and register the child, do everything, and pay for maybe the first term. And those special needs schools too, it comes with boarding. You leave them there. Immediately they leave you there. As only when you are many nipana or sure whether they are maltreating you, it's none of their business. So it means that the education minister is not only thinking, like he's not he's not only thinking within, but he's thinking out of the box. He wants to help everyone, like every student. And that is basically what he's doing.
So before we leave here, I want us to rate our education minister. So far they've been in government for 6 months. How would you rate his work? Because I've heard a whole lot of rumors. Would I say rumors? We don't speak based on rumors. So I've seen posts and then some comments on social media that, hey, how can I do some more education minister money there? But in my opinion, I think the minister is delivering. Like he's cooking. Let's rate him.
By his side.
Overall.
It's too early.
You think it's too? Oh, but they've been in power for 6
months.
For 6 weeks. And comparing it to the comments coming, we see on social media so far, this man, the education minister,
I give him 30%
This is GhanaTalks
out of
your morning
100%
companion.
because he's still doing it, and there are a whole lot of things he needs to do, especially in the education sector.
Right. But are you impressed so far?
Oh yeah, so far I'm impressed. That's why we win 30%.
30%.
Yeah.
Miss Debbie.
This is something difficult to do. People can change at any time.
All right.
He's really doing his best. For if you tell me to rate him, I'm not sure I'll get a specific this, but all I can say is that he's doing a great job and there is more room for improvement.
There's more room for improvement. All right. Thank you so much for joining us on the news headline review. Up next, we have Debbie's Grill.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that concern to the state, void of politics, fear or favor. The Cape Town Municipal Secretariat of the National Disaster Management Organization has launched an urgent appeal for public support following severe flooding that has disrupted education in several communities within the Keta enclave. According to a statement signed by Wanda Sechofia, the municipal NADMO director, which was made available to the GNA, says the flooding has particularly endangered school children and teachers in the area. Now, the lack of basic protective gear such as Wellington boots, life jackets has compounded the situation and rendered teaching and learning impossible. The NADMO Secretariat is therefore appealing to benevolent individuals, corporate bodies, NGOs, and philanthropic institutions to support materials such as the boots, the life jacket, and everything that is needed for these children, to make it easier for these students to access, education. Now, I saw this yesterday, and you see, it's a pity where you see students having to, cross a river, and they are not crossing the river with a canoe. They are not crossing the river with a boat. They are crossing this river with their legs. So just imagine you dressing your ward for school, ironing her uniform, putting on her shoes, and then she has to go and walk in the river. She has to cross, walking in the river. And this we are talking about, the water was on their waist, some on their chest, and you see the students raising their uniform. And then I was asking my question. So before they will get to school, they are already wet. How do you think, or how do you think this student will sit in class with a clear conscience to grab what the teacher is teaching? No, it can't happen. Because one, she'll feel at ease. Two, she'll feel embarrassed. And you know, as usual, her colleagues are going to laugh at her. And you sit in a class, you are wet. As if you went to bath. But this is a case where you were neatly dressed for school. How do we want this student to compete with other students out there? It's going to be very, very difficult. And these are certain things we have to pay attention to in the education sector. When it has to do with its education sector, we have a lot of work to do. A lot. I feel like we pay so much attention to the tertiary education, and then we neglect the basic education. But you know, when the foundation is weak, the whole building will collapse. So when the foundation is weak, in fact, the whole building you've put up is a useless building. Because with a slightest blow of the wind, it will collapse. And these are our future leaders. These are people that will come and take over one day. And then we allow them to struggle like this. You know, it's kind of painful. Some time ago, we saw students, crossing this same river with a log, walking on a log. We saw students who have to walk miles to get to school. We came across videos where students have to sit on bare floor to study. The environment is not conducive. No blackboard, nothing. And then when it has to do with practical aspects, they are left out because there is nothing. And sometimes these communities, when you get there, even electricity is not that stable in that very community. The network is bad. And sometimes when you post these teachers, they don't want to go because they are also thinking about their safety. And as a teacher, you will need the internet. You have to do your research so that you can impact these students very well. But then you get there, the network is bad. And then you have to struggle as a teacher to teach these students. And sometimes when you listen to these teachers, they feel like they just feel pity for these students. So they just have to sacrifice their time. And we sit back and then we are happy. We see all these things and then we are happy. You see, the education minister is doing his best, but there is a lot to do. There is a lot to do. I always say that it's not only our schools in the greater region. No. You see, if you want to see things for yourself, go to some parts of the northern region. Go to some parts of the OT region. Go to some deep parts of the Volta region. Then you see things for yourself. When you are here, you don't see anything. When you are here, then you visit 2-3 schools and then you conclude by what they say as, a general problem or general challenge for all the schools in the country. You are missing out big time. Go down yourself, then you see things for yourself. You will see the challenges these students are going through. And because most of these communities are farming communities, sometimes the parents are already not interested in education. And sometimes the zeal of the child pushes them to provide their needs for them because they want to become something in future. And then when they realize that you have to get to school Monday that we know to be a very busy day, the child gets to school and then come back with a dirty uniform because they have to be lying on the floor to write. A seat that is meant for one person has to be shared with 4 students. How do you want this student to feel comfortable? There is no comfortability in this. And this is the more reason why most of these students in these remote areas cannot compete with people in this. When it comes to the urban areas, they cannot. Because when it comes to the urban area, they are privileged to a lot of things. They even have chances, even in primary school, so they have chances to go to summits. Like, they have chances to go to educational programs, get equipped. But in the remote areas, it's not like that. These students struggle. They struggle to make their way to the top. And so if you want to tackle the education sector, if you want to reset the education sector, it should start from the remote areas. That is where the problem is. That is where the challenge is. But you want to stay in Accra, you are doing nothing. When you move from one school to the other in the Greater Accra region, you donate some things to them. You are basically doing nothing. It's 0 over 0. The same privileges that students in this area are enjoying, it should be the same thing in the remote areas. We should develop it. Even if we cannot do all, we should get them a well-equipped school building with all the infrastructure and everything needed to make it easier for this teacher to teach the students, and also easier for the student to grasp what the teacher is teaching. And you see, most of the time we sit and then we make claims that, oh, more free remote areas no one born. I didn't know more because you are refusing to do the right thing. When it has to do with ICT, now we are talking about digitalization. We want to digitalize everything. We still have students in the remote areas that have no idea about digitalization. They don't even understand anything about that. Because they don't even have computer in the school. They are learning about computer. They've not seen computer before. They've not even touched the mouse before. And then we sit in our offices, we come out, we speak big English, we write big English on paper, and we think that is all. We are really lacking behind. It's either we wake up now and then build a strong foundation, or we sleep and relax, and then it comes back to haunt us in the future. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Grill.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie. Miss Regina, what do you have for us today?
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Today in history, execution of several senior military officers. The execution of several senior military officers, including 2 former heads of state, by the Armed Forces Revolutionary Council in Ghana occurred on June 26, 1979. This event was a major part of the June 4th revolution, which involved the coup d'etat led by Jerry Rawlings and other junior officers. Following the coup, the AFRC, led by Rawlings, executed the officers, including General Fred Ekufu and Lieutenant General Akwesi Amankwa Afifa. These executions took place 10 days after the initial uprising and occurred before the June 1979 general elections. In the landmark 2015 Supreme Court case versus Huggies, the court ruled that state bans on same-sex marriage were unconstitutional, guaranteeing the right to marry for same-sex couples nationwide. Justice Anthony Kennedy, writing for the majority, stated, The court now holds that same-sex couples may exercise the fundamental right to marry. No longer may this liberty be denied to them. According to Variety, this decision effectively legalized same-sex marriage across the United States. Heavyweight champion Muhammad Ali first announced his retirement from boxing in June 1979. He later returned to the ring, but ultimately retired for good after losing to Trevor Berbick in December 1981. This day is observed as National Barcode Day. It is celebrated to commemorate the first commercial use of barcode on 1974. This day recognizes the impact of barcodes on efficiency, accuracy, and productivity in various industries, particularly in retail and supply chain management. National Coconut Day. This day is celebrated to highlight the versatility and benefits of coconuts. It was founded in 2019 by the Coconut Coalition of the Americans to promote awareness of coconuts in food, beverages, and personal care products. The day encourages people to explore the various uses and nutritional value of coconuts. This day is observed as National Handshake Day. Shake the hand of at least one person that you would not have on any other day. You may just want to wish them a good day while doing so. Use National Handshake Day to perfect your handshake. A grip that's too firm may come off as aggressive, and one too weak may seem insincere. This day is also observed as National Work from Home Day. It is a chance to recognize the technological and cultural evolutions that allow us a work culture to be as productive anywhere in the world as we are in the office. Lastly, 26th June as the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, as an expression of its determination to strengthen action and cooperation to achieve the goal of an international society free of drug abuse. And that's all for today and Today in History and Observances of the Day, live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless. Yes, go out there and shake as many hands as you can and make sure you wish them a blessed day. On that note, this is where we draw the curtains for the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Right after this, we'll be going for the news, and right after the news, we'll be coming up with the main discussion on the second segment. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, I'm Mr. Level Bam. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry bro. Our GhanaTalks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. My 20 things about Sam. No, on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say it. No artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Konya, or you singer, and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go fi spit fire now. Listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio, and yes, say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app, no, our Play Store, any App Store. Not tune in, and say this what you see, Baba Live on Facebook, Cointakra, any Ghana Talks Radio page, and so now listen. I bet you fire. 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajan.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1. We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Welcome to the morning news broadcast live on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, Felix Kwachi Ofosu rebuts CJ's claims on impeachment process. Ghana's Pentecostal Council calls for swift passage of anti-LGBTQ+I. Solomon Wusu defends Bank of Ghana staff termination. Communication team member of Movement for Change calls for better deal with FBI to extradite Game Boys for Ken Ofori-Atta. These and many more coming up shortly in business, sports and showbiz. The Minister of State in charge of government communications has criticized Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu attempt to draw parallel between her impeachment process and historical killings of military officers and judges. The Supreme Court has dismissed several lawsuits aimed at halting the impeachment process. A 5-member panel chaired by the acting Chief Justice Paul Bonney ruled against Tokonu's injunction application to halt the proceedings.
The other point that I wish to also place on record is that the attempts to link the dastardly killings of some Supreme Court judges and a military officer to this case are most disingenuous. To begin with, this government and President Mahama have nothing to do with the killing of any judge. Second, there's absolutely no nexus between the petitions that have been brought and that unfortunate incident in our past. So any effort to link the two is regrettable and should not find space in this sort of discourse. It is most undesirable, it is most unacceptable. Now, the venue in question is the Edu Lodge. Yes, it is close to the Osu Castle, which used to be the former seat of government. As I speak, there are government agencies that operate there. So it is a public place. The Osu Castle is a public place. You can go there to conduct official government business. Beside it are private residences owned by Ghanaians who move freely in and out of their residence, even though they are situated very close to the Osu Castle. So the impression that a facility in the vicinity of the Osu Castle necessarily makes it intimidating or foreboding is completely misplaced. It is unfair. It is not justifiable. Now, Ebu Lodge is a state facility which is often used to house high-ranking officials who visit the Republic of Ghana. It belongs to the state. The decision to use that place was not that of government or President Mahama. The committee requested that they needed facilities of a certain status that could house their activities and that could facilitate a smooth running of the proceedings. And that facility was available. It is equipped with modern amenities that will facilitate the work of the committee. And the state only offered it upon the request of the committee. Let me also state that that facility is not intimidating. It is like any regular state facility where business can be conducted to the extent that it is put in the right shape. Wherever these proceedings were held, it will still be in camera, as clearly stipulated in Article 1468 of the 1992 Constitution. So that the proceedings are being held in camera is only in compliance with the Constitution. So it doesn't matter where it is held. And any security measure put in place is only intended to secure the place so that persons who are not authorized to be part of the proceedings do not.
Moving on, the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, GPCC, is urging the government to sign the Human Rights and Family Values Bill into law. The GPCC believes the bill reflects Ghana's unique culture.
Yes, GPCC has remained credible in offering spiritual insight, biblical counseling, and godly advocacy to both the ruling government and the opposition. With our theme this year, Shining Like Stars in the World, we must continue to engage boldly and shine as beacons of light to bring hope to a frustrated and lost generation, and thereby cause positive change both in the church and in the broader society. As a council representing millions of believers nationwide, we cannot be indifferent to the challenges confronting our nation. We must increase our godly influence and seek more profound unity among our churches. We need to keep raising leaders and members who fear God, love truth, and seek the well-being of our land. Dearly beloved, I want to use this opportunity to reaffirm our unwavering commitment as a council to the fight against galamsey, that is illegal mining. This menace continues to destroy our lands, pollute our waters, and threaten our future, as well as the livelihood of the generation to come. We therefore call on the government to intensify its efforts and protect our natural heritage. On our part, as member churches, if any of our members is involved in this disturbing activity, we are encouraged to urge them to seek the interests of our dear nation and the good of the land, rather than to pursue a personal self-centered agenda which is destructive. Furthermore, we urge the government of Ghana to revisit the proper sexual human rights and family values bill. This proposed legislation touches on the very moral foundation of our society. We challenge public leaders to uphold values. We must ensure our churches are models of transformation, transparency, accountability, and servant leadership. I declare the 2025 National Delegates Conference duly opened in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.
Now, the Member of Parliament for Ekropon, Solomon Wusu, criticized the minority for holding a press conference over the recent termination of about 100 employees at the Bank of Ghana. He argues that the minority has no moral grounds to lecture on job losses. Mr. Owusu believes the minority criticism is hypocritical, citing significant job losses during their time in office due to the banking sector cleanup. The Bank of Ghana recently terminated the appointment of 8 managing director, 3 deputy governors, and 104 staff members.
Those that are holding press conferences that wants us to believe that they would have done something different, more than 6,000 people lost their jobs. GN Bank alone, more than 3,000 people lost their jobs. So if people are going to talk about retrenchment, it must not be coming from the New Patriotic Party. When they do that, it annoys the sensibilities of the people of this country. You understand? You are talking about the fact that they should be working in a bank. I just told you that the minimum capital requirement for opening a bank in this country is only 400 million Ghana cedis. Is that not the case? Indeed. How much did we invest in the cathedral? It's not $58 million. Just granted that the dollar to the cedi today is 1:10 cedis. Multiply 10 by $58 million. That gives you 580 million Ghana cedis. We could have opened a bank and absorbed all these people. Wicked people, they use it to go and dig a hole. And they got the nerve to come and tell you that, look, hey, we are fighting for you. You must be angry at them. I can bet my last person that the people that were rushed to the Bank of Ghana, a lot of them pay bribes to get that position. They pay bribes. I'm telling you, people pay. Yeah. They took so much. If you really thought of these people, would you recruit them in December when you had lost elections, or in December that you knew very well that you were losing elections? So one bank could have opened there. Recently, a bank that I do small business with, they sent me a message trying to pat themselves at the bank that they have increased their capital position. How much have they got? They say 548 million cedis. So I should be singing, hey, then something crossed my mind. Hey, so it means what we are talking about there, national service, when you see any of them that have been accused, they are a working bank. That my bank is telling me that they are now in a position, the asset base is now 548 million, and so they are happy. National service, the allegation is that about 4 or 5 people, they are working with about 548 million. That is a bank working. All the people that have been sacked could have worked there. You see why you must not be entertaining some of these people. You see, we are in 2025. People must understand. We are in an era where we are wide awake and we will not allow anybody to come and throw dust into the eyes of the people. Those that have been affected, I wish them well. The economy must expand, and I will call on government to rapidly develop this economy to absorb all of them. Does it not strike you that a bank, at the same time that they were recruiting these people, the financial statement of Bank of Ghana, only 2024, they incurred an operational loss of 9 billion.
So you say the focus shouldn't have been on incurring even more financial.
The bank is operating at a loss. Look at that. We decided to embark on a program called Gold for Oil. You never saw that program. Did you cite any document to that effect?
Like a policy direction.
They threw away 1.82 billion. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and his people, they threw away 1.2 billion.
We told it was a two-pronged approach, gold and cash for oil.
No, it was just a scam. The Bank of Ghana just reported that we threw away 1.82 billion. Now, those people that incurred all this cost to the Bank of Ghana recruited more for the Bank of Ghana. The personnel cost alone at the Bank of Ghana, as of the last count, runs into 2.9 billion. That's how much we are paying for the staff of the Bank of Ghana.
2.9 billion.
Billion. It's even conservative. That's a conservative figure. And believe you me, the last time I checked, those that did this evaluation, they were there during the last regime because it was done by the HR department, HR and then other personal development department. They were there under MPP, they were there under NDC 1 or 2, they continue to be there. So when professionals are doing their business, you don't have to, as a political party. Yes, everybody knows that we are all in the political space. But after elections, there is cooperation. We have to cooperate to develop this country. The time for rigorous campaign will come in 2027 to 2028. That is where some of us will bring superior argument to topple the National Democratic Congress. But until then, it is not nation development. And I dare say that the people who wants us to believe them.
Now, a leading member of the Movement for Change has proposed a novel approach to dealing with extradition requests from the United States. He suggests Ghana should negotiate a better deal with FBI where Ghana will extradite individuals known as Game Boys accused of cybercrime in the United States in exchange for the return of the former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta. Mr. Solomon Owusu believes Ghana's security authorities should not leverage the extradition request to negotiate a deal that will bring back the former finance minister. He argues that the approach will be in Ghana's interest to making the right decision to hold public officials accountable. The proposal comes amid ongoing debate about extradition and accountability in the country.
In the same way that we have extradition orders in this country that has taken out Ghanaians, those they call Game Boys. I believe before that extradition order was allowed by the Minister of Interior, he should have called for a barter trade. So that while they are bringing Ken Ofori-Atta in, we will also be sending our boys out. After all, if you are going to measure the magnitude of our money that we are talking about, what the boys have been accused of having taken from the Americans is in the region of hundreds of millions. What Kenneth Ofori-Atta has been accused is in billions. So between the two, he should be coming down faster than
an exchange.
Exchange is not robbery. Fast track.
Solomon,
so that he comes to answer.
All right.
In business, the chief executive of Impoto Technologies, Stephanie, has called on the government to make strategic investment in artificial intelligence to ensure it becomes a vital part of Ghana's digital transformation journey. Speaking during week 4 of the City Business Festival 2025 on air series on the topic, Africans' place in AI revolution, Norway emphasized the enormous chances AI presents for transforming sectors such as healthcare, education, agriculture, and finance. However, he warned that Ghana risks falling behind if there is no deliberate investment in AI infrastructure, research, data systems, and talent development. He urged the government to create enabling policies and foster strong public-private partnerships to accelerate AI adoption. We need to be intentional. The question is, how do we form proper public and private partnerships? Look at the United States. They brought in OpenAI, had conversations with developers and strategists that sent a strong signal of collaboration. China did something similar. It was a high-level political move that showed their commitment to AI. Even in the Middle East, governments are actively speaking about and investing heavily in this space. Recently, an administration announced a 1 billion investment in AI. We need to do something similar. It starts by identifying key players in our ecosystem and understanding what support they need. We have already begun investing in a small way, but government support, especially in areas like infrastructure, model development, and talent training, will be instrumental. It is still early, but this is the time to position Ghana as a leader in Africa's AI journey, he stated. To sports, Fluminense nil draw with Mamelodi Sundowns at Hard Rock Stadiums secured their place in the FIFA World Cup last 16 and confirmed the early exits of all 4 African clubs, with AI Wydad and Esperance de Tunis already eliminated. Sundowns were Africans' last hope, but needing a win to leapfrog in Group F, the South African champions could not find a breakthrough despite a dominant start. Makwena's side created early chances through Lucas, Matthews and Divine Luga, but Fluminense goalkeeper Fabio stood firm. The Brazilian gradually settled. Fluminense sat deep after the break, content to play on the counter. They nearly snatched the lead with Gemma Kano hit the post, while Sundowns' efforts were repeatedly cut short by offside calls and miscommunication in the final third. Gaucho's men held on for the points they needed, finishing second behind Dortmund and setting up a last 16 clash with Group E's winner. Sundowns exits with 4 points and their heads held high as all Brazilian clubs march into the last 16, but Africans wait for a breakthrough and the revamped Club World Cup continues. And showbiz, a series of intimate photos posted online by a visiting South African couple at Ghana's most iconic landmarks has ignited a wave of controversy and homophobic attacks, underscoring the urgent need for the Ghana Tourism Authority to safeguard the sanctity of the national site. Leo and Rue shared images of themselves kissing and kindling at Independence Square, the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, and the Bree Botanical Gardens under the banner of a Show Ghana Love campaign. Their caption framed the photos as an act of solidarity with Ghana's community in the face of an impending anti-LGBTQ+I bill that will criminalize same-sex relationships with up to 3 years in prison, where the couple said their goals was to meet hate with love and shine a spotlight on the plight of Ghanaians. Their actions have been met with outrage. Many Ghanaians pointed out that the country's penal code dating from colonial rule outlaws unnatural carnal knowledge, and the Supreme Court has upheld these laws as constitutional. Section 104 criminalizes intimate relations between men with up to 3 years in prison. A separate bill under consideration will further restrict advocacy and public displays of affection, imposing harsh fines or jail term on supporters. Local photographers and tourists who regularly visit this site have raised concerns about rising fees, strict dress codes, and limited access enforced by site caretakers. Yet in this case, the same guardians of our heritage allow Liu and Ryu to stage provocative photo shoots at the Independence Arc and in front of Kwame Nkrumah's statue. Critics ask how such actions could slip through amid rigorous enforcement of other rules. The fallout has been swift. Online posts attacking the couples have crossed into hateful rhetoric, with some users calling for their prosecution. Advocates for Ghanaians fear that these images will fuel further harassment and justify the very bill the couple sought to protest. Instead of opening hearts, the stance has deepened divisions and stuck homophobic favor. Ghana's cultural treasures belong to every citizen and visitor. They represent our history and values. It is the responsibility of the Ghana Tourism Authority to ensure that these sites are respected. Tour guides, security personnel, and caretakers must be trained to enforce clear guidelines on appropriate behavior. They should intervene whenever visitors attempt stunts that violate cultural forms or jeopardize public order. Similar incidents abroad offer lessons. In Mexico, a German tourist was arrested for climbing the Maya Temple in defiance of preservation rules and faced worldwide condemnation. Ghana's authorities can adopt the same zero-tolerance approach to protect our landmarks and prevent them from being used as political or social statements that undermine our dignity. Advocacy against homophobia and support for LGBTQIA+ rights are vital, but effective campaigns must work within local laws and cultural contexts. Events like these demonstrate how easily a well-meaning protest can backfire, harming the very community it aims to uplift. The Ghana Tourism Authority must act by reinforcing site regulations, providing staff training, and establishing clear protocols for visitors. It can preserve the sanctity of our monument and ensure that all who come to the country do so with respect and understanding. Only then can our landmarks continue to stand as symbol of unity rather than flashpoints for division. Amali Josu is a communication strategist and media professional who crafts and elevates narratives that underscores heritage, innovation, and social impact in Ghana's creative sector. And that's all on the morning news broadcast. Do all to log on to www.GhanaTalksRadio.com for more current updates. I will be back with subsequent news bulletin later in the midday news. My name is Deborah Adosu. Do have a good morning.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bliss,
Deborah Adosu,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, I'm level Bea. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry bro. Our Ghana Talks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding setete abako sem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say it. No artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Konya, or you singer, and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go fi spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio and yes say in our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app no our Play Store any App Store. Na tune in yes say this what you see baba live on Facebook, ko Instagram, any Ghana Talks Radio page in it. So now listen. E be your fire. 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajan.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. A good morning to you wherever you are listening to us and watching us from the studios of Ghana Talks Radio. My name is Pakwesi Omari, regular host for the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. It's a Thursday morning. It's another beautiful day to bring you some insightful discussions, making news in the capital. And the studios with me this morning is Mr. Peter Adai, who is representing the NDC, and Mr. Amwakopo Entry, who will be representing the NPP. I want to encourage you to join the conversation as it will be very, very, very interactive. On all our social media platforms, you can join us at Ghana Talks Radio on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and on X. Our WhatsApp line is 0202-544-614, 0202-544-614. Our YouTube channel is very active, Ghana Talks Radio on YouTube. You can join, follow, stream, and watch us live on there. Our website is www.GhanaTalksRadio.com, www.GhanaTalksRadio.com. As I mentioned earlier, I have the representatives for the two major political parties in the studios with me, and we are getting right into the conversations as I introduce my guest, Mr. Peter Adai and Mr. Amwakopo. P.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Baby Aboko.
By the grace of God.
We thank God. Thank God.
Yeah. Before I start, I would like to really appreciate the work of some two serious CEOs in Ghana. Last week, Thursday, after the program, I have the chance of meeting two CEOs. One is the Ghana Scholarship Secretary, that is Honorable Asafoje.
Okay.
And also I have the chance of meeting Dr. Mary A.C., Ghana Free Zones Board. Seriously, after visiting these two CEOs, I'm very happy. Especially Dr. Mary A.C.
Okay.
That woman is doing very great at Free Zones Board. And I think if all CEOs and government appointees are going to learn from Dr. Ghana will move ahead.
Okay.
She's very accommodative, ready to work. She's not too partisan. She's ready to work with everybody.
I'm hoping one day you have her on your show.
Okay.
Mary, you see, is a very powerful woman. She was a former parliamentary candidate for Asante Achim, that's Agogo. She lost.
Okay.
Right after that, she came back to Accra to help the party in the headquarters. And when JM was given the mandate in this election, he also gave her that chance to manage Ghana Free Zone Authority. And I'm telling you, the woman is doing very great. Asafo J is also doing very well when it comes to the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat. I'm telling you, this man is down to earth. And Thursday, do you know Asafo J left the office around 10 o'clock?
Wow.
She's ready to work.
Wow.
And I'm hoping these people, especially Dr. Mary Isi, that woman is working very fantastic.
Wow.
Very, very well. And I'm entreating all companies in Ghana, all multilateral companies, both local and international companies in Ghana, to register with Ghana Free Zone Authority. Because as I went there, his PR Bright was able to take me through how they help do you know Ghana Free Zone Authority can even help you to export things or import things in Ghana that taxes and something the government may take some aspect of your tax. So it's good companies take advantage of this. The CEO is ready to work with every person who is ready to work, both local companies and international companies who really want to operate in Ghana, and she's really promoting Ghana. She was telling me something nice, that very soon a lot of Chinese companies are ready to work in Ghana. Not gonna say companies, we are talking about serious companies in pharmaceutical, in the textile industry and other industry, that she thinks when they come, the economy of Ghana is going to grow very well. So I greet Madam Dr. Mary AC this morning, and also greet the Scholarship Secretariat CEO Asafo J.
Okay. Thank you there for such a warm introduction, and I mean we would all join hands in collaboration to commend the CEO. You've mentioned them with their hard work and you know, their dedication and contribution to the growth of our country, Ghana. Paul. Morning, sir.
Morning, boss.
How be?
Everything is cool. Just that I'm not happy with the way certain things are happening in this country. Yesterday, I saw a picture of two guys. My name Liu and Ryu, which I learned they are from South Africa.
Okay.
They came to this country, and then we saw some pictures of them. Either they were kissing or doing some romantic stuff under our national symbols.
Wow.
Like the Independence Act.
Yeah.
And do you know one thing? Sam George, Honorable Sam George, came out with a tweet that he was in Ho. He wasn't in Accra. And I don't know if you're in Ho, you can't be on X. I don't know. That if you're in Ho, you have to be in Accra before you can be on X. So he came with a tweet that he was in Ho, and then he came back to Accra before he was seeing this. And then he made a tweet and then he was blaming and accusing the MPP because we did not sign the anti-gay bill, the anti-LGBTQ bill. Sorry. So he was blaming the NPP. Fine.
Was that what he was doing?
In whatever he tweeted.
I mean,
he also said we should blame the president and the MPP for not signing the anti-gay bill. That's why we are still here. And do you know one thing? They used this thing for campaign against the MPP. We didn't sign the bill, but it was used as a campaign message. Whenever the current president, John Mahama, meets the clergy or any religious leaders, he makes it clear to them that he is going to sign the bill very faster. You know, it's not even going to wait. Fine, the bill has expired. Because the parliament, the old parliament is gone, and then you have a new parliament, so the bill has expired. But now, what's happening? I want to see the same energy Sam George was using to push the president to sign the bill, or to make sure Parliament approves that bill, and then the Parliament will sign it. I want to see the same energy, but Sam George the energy is gone now. And then the minority were able to come out with a certificate of emergency. When they wanted to pass the levy, the Dumso levy. But with this particular bill, if they're very serious about this thing, like the way they were saying during the campaign period, I don't think they have to even we should wait for these people to come to this country and do this here under our national symbols or closer to our national symbols before we start acting.
Okay.
One thing that we need to take notice. Whatever happens under Independence Square was not right.
Okay.
I never support it, and I would say it's bad.
Yeah.
They will do this because we are having a president just a year ago who was not able to take a stand. One thing that we need to know is making laws, either the law might come from parliamentary, that's the private members bill, or it may come from executive.
Okay.
As we speak, we are having a constitutional review committee who are really working on our constitution. Yesterday, I heard one member of the constitutional committee in parliament telling us, though the current government have taken steps to reintroduce the bill to parliament, because you need to start again, because it has already expired through the work of our current Chief Justice, who was able to help the last guy to really play politics with important laws like law against gayism in Ghana.
Okay.
So in trying to review our constitution, some of these things which were not well stipulated in the constitution, we are going to consider them.
Okay.
And again, Parliament have started the process, and very soon it will go through the various stages in Parliament and it pass as law.
Okay.
Because it's an important. It's not just in the law. This it have human rights factors in them.
Okay.
So it's not these are not bills that you can pass through certificate of emergency.
Okay.
Because it entails some fundamental human rights issues.
Okay.
So it's a bit technical.
Yeah.
And the same way Sam George and the likes were able to fight for that cause years ago. Inshallah, very soon you will see them doing same.
Okay. Inshallah, very soon we will see them do same. Peter, you have something to say about
it baffles me when I see the NDC always blaming the people about this, because there's something you use for your campaign.
Yeah.
So I don't think you should be blaming them.
We should still be blaming you because you didn't.
You are 6 months into power now.
Yes.
So why do you have to still be blaming people?
You were in power for 8 years.
Yes, and then we couldn't sign it, and then you use that as a campaign
against
us.
Yeah.
You made Ghanaians very clear that we are against this thing. You made it clear to Ghanaians that we are against this thing. Like you made it clear, and then Ghanaians, based on that, Ghanaians threw us out of the of government.
Okay.
And then you're still blaming MPP.
Yes, we will blame you because if
you're still blaming MPP. You are 6 months into power.
Do know that
and action must be taken.
Do know
steps.
Do know
private. You're still blaming MPP.
Do know the private members bill.
Once you've
the amount of money people will spend before it can go through the process.
Once you've made
Ghanaians are punished you for no. Yes, Ghanaians punish you because you didn't sign the bill. Ghanaians punish them because they didn't sign the bill. And as we are in power for 6 months, you can in 4 years. You know the amount I'm judging.
In 4 years, we couldn't sign the bill, and you made Ghanaians aware that we cannot do this. Even John Mahama even made it clear. Even 1 month.
He never said that. Can you play me?
He made it clear 1 month.
Show me the video.
1 month.
Give me evidence.
For 1 month, he will stand on
you
the
can't
street
just come here and make any allegation
that this anti-LGBTQ this thing, because it's against our values.
We know the stance of our president now.
Do you get it?
Years ago, we never knew the stance of our president.
So what are you waiting for?
No, Omari, there's one thing you need to know. Now we know the stance of our current president.
The president finish.
No, what I'm trying to say is, we know the stance of our president. We know our president is against gay. What was the stand of our former president?
Okay. It's against gay. It's against anti-LGBTQ or whatever. Okay. It's against LGBTQ.
Yes.
Fine. You have said that because he has made a clear and he made it clear to them. He met.
In your time, you have ministers of states
he met the Muslim leaders, and he made it clear to them. We are 6 months into power. Now he's waiting for some George and the rest to bring the bill. You have the majority in parliament.
Okay.
This shouldn't even take you more than this. You have the majority in parliament.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to even wait for these people to come here before, because they know very well that no, the president is not going to